Poli Sync 20, just another speakerphone aimed at the ever-growing hybrid and remote workforce? Maybe. At this price point though, it's pretty hard to look at any of the other competition. The build quality, the sound quality, the reliability, as well as the inclusion of a couple of what I call happy editions, make this a pretty clear winner above all of the other personal speakerphones. First up, it looks cool. Now, that sounds really silly, but it's really important. The device itself looks really sleek. It's almost a pocket-sized rocket, so it's the right size. Any smaller, and it probably wouldn't sound as good. Any bigger, and you're talking the Poli Sync 50, which is a different beast all on its own. As well as that, it comes in a sexy little carry pouch so that you can have the Sync 20 itself and the USB dongle in one place and you won't lose any of it. Pairing and setting up the device is really easy and really flexible. It's got a USB cable attached to the device, so you can simply plug it into your computer and then you're good to go. You can Bluetooth it to your iPhone, your iPad, your computer, or you can use the included Bluetooth USB dongle and you'll be good to go with any computer available to you. Now, the portability factor is really important. Obviously, we're talking about portable speakerphone devices. I think Poli have got this really well nailed with the Sync 20. Like I said, it comes with its little carry pouch, so you're only carrying one thing around. The size itself is pretty much perfect to fit anywhere you need it to, and any bag, any backpack. But additional to that, portability goes a bit further than the size. We're talking battery life as well. Now, with the Sync 20, Poli claims that you get about 20 hours of talk time on a full charge. Now, I'm going to call bananas on that. I think you get a whole lot more than 20 hours. I haven't timed it, but I feel like I've had this speakerphone off charge for a couple of weeks now, and I make a fair few calls. Now, I know a few people that feel the same. Don't rely on my opinion on that, but I feel like 20 hours is probably understating what you get here. So what about the sound? Obviously that's a key factor for a lot of people. Now, I'm pretty fussy and generally I'm pretty easily unimpressed by sound quality on a lot of these devices. I can start by saying that the Sync 20 is really surprising on all of these fronts. The microphones are crystal clear, up to about 5 or 6 meters. You'll sound like you're talking right into the speaker and right next to the person you're speaking to. Further than around 5 meters, you can still hear the voices quite clearly, but they do start to sound a little bit like they're in a bigger room. Having said that, if you're more than 5 or 6 meters away from the device at most times, you probably need to start thinking of a different device altogether. What about the speaker quality? Well, that's where I start to get really fussy. The quality of the Sync 20 on a call is amazing. It's crystal clear. The voices sound like voices rather than someone speaking into a cardboard tube which is being piped into a really cheap speaker with a huge price markup on it because the box says team certified. Not that any manufacturers would do that, of course. But the call quality is pretty much superb. Outside of calls, the best way for me to explain the sound quality of the Sync 20 is to explain to you that I've used an Apple HomePod to listen to music in my home office for a few years now. Anyone that's used a HomePod knows that they're pretty good quality for their size and their price. Well, since the Sync 20's landed on my desk, the HomePod's gone the way of the iPod. I pretty much only use it now to talk to Siri and turn lights on and off. What about the drawbacks? Well, to be honest, there's not actually that many. Most of the drawbacks on the Sync 20 are more little annoyances than anything else. For example, the USB cable that's part of the device to plug into your computer is really good, but to wrap it back up around the device is next to impossible to get it right. You're either got to pull it really tight to get it to sit into its place, or it's all loose and flappy. Not a problem, but it makes me feel like maybe it's not going to last as long as it could. The Poli Lens software isn't great. That's being pretty nice. Sorry guys. The software itself is buggy. It's not that feature rich, but again, not necessary. You don't need it to use the Sync 20. The custom button on the Sync 20 was one of the features that really excited me. I'm a really big fan of shortcut buttons and programmable buttons, so seeing that there was going to be one that I could program on here, that got me really excited. Imagine my disappointment when I opened the Lens software to find that the customizable options were actually pretty useless. The ones that were useful only worked on mobile, so pretty useless for someone using a laptop computer. All in all, for a device that retails at around the $250 mark, it's pretty hard to look past this, and to be honest, I don't know why you would. It's feature rich, it's good quality, Poli make reputable products, it works all the time, and it works wherever you are with a possibly endless battery life. There's not really many reasons that you wouldn't look at the Poli Sync 20. Now, I've had mine for a couple of months now. It's been sitting on my desk and being used every single day. I'm happy for anybody to send me their alternative or their device to have a play with if you think it's better, but I'm going to be really honest with you, it's going to be really hard to pry this out of my cold leathery hands.